Well, the man is so right. Let me give the phone numbers out real fast. 1-800-LOVE-191, 1-800-568-3191. The fax number, 310-854-4455. I'm Adam Carolla. He is Dr. Drew. He is a board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist. And tonight, our guest is Justin Whalin. He plays Jimmy Olsen on Lois and Clark, the series that people laughed at when it came out.
Did they really?
Don't play stupid with me, Drew.
I didn't know. What do I know?
We're making, we got this Hawaiian Superman, and we're making this movie. We're making like a series about Superman again, and everyone went, "This is a joke. No one's going to watch this." But that was 3 years ago, and the thing keeps going.
Right, no joke.
Yeah. So apparently it's got up a head of steam, and Justin's going to come in and tell us all about it. Drew, how you doing tonight?
I'm all right.
You know, we got incredible response to your song. Well, the song that you inspired. And
what song did I inspire?
And that the maestro engineer, the one sack wonder,
right.
The one nut wonder Mike.
I mean, the one we didn't have a song last night, did we?
Put together. It wasn't last night.
Right.
We gave it a break last
Thank
night.
you.
But back by popular demand. Yes.
No,
yes.
No, I knew you guys were up to something.
Drew.
No, I knew it.
And can I say that?
Pee on this stick. Makes me sick. Pee on this stick. Makes me sick. If I find you stealing my underwear again, here's what's going to happen. Asshole. Stuff like this makes me sick. You're fat. Asshole. You're fat. Can I say that? You're fat. You're overweight. I want to be dominated. You're gay. I want to be dominated. You're gay. When I was 19, I ate about 4 boiled peyote buttons and stayed up all night but felt no effect. It's called intimacy. Can I say that? This is not acceptable. Can I say that? You're fat. Not acceptable. Pee on this stick. Not acceptable. Boiled peyote button. Not acceptable. You're overweight. Not acceptable. Can I say that?
It is sweeping the nation, Drew. It's
You're
all the
gay.
kids are talking about. We're going to come out with Drew lunch pails next week. And let me tell you, if that godforsaken Hall & Oates song Man-Eater can climb the top of the charts, and certainly the Can I Say That song should be at least crack the top 50. So those... We'll be playing that periodically, week in and week out, until Drew eventually kills himself.
Right, until my head explodes.
Or engineer Mike comes up for one for me. Heather.
Hi.
Hey, you're on Loveline.
How you doing?
Good.
What's going on there?
Well, basically, this is the deal. Basically, I work with someone, and I kind of like started a relationship with her.
Mm-hmm. Is this a boss of yours?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, she's above you.
Yeah, just slightly.
She's above you and on top of you?
Now, are there children I hear that you're with right now?
Yeah.
These your kids?
Yeah.
What do you mean? You have to hesitate about that. What do you mean?
Oh, no, I'm babysitting for a neighbor.
Now, the job you're talking about is not babysitting, is it?
No.
Okay.
All right, so do you have children?
Yeah.
You do?
Married with children, Al Bundy, the whole thing.
All right, you have your own children, and you're not babysitting at this time?
Mm-mm.
Okay. She's being facetious. Continue, Heather. What is your question?
Basically, the relationship that I started with this person, it was very brief, and
right, because lunch was over and you guys had to get back to work.
No, it wasn't like that. Things were stopped, and basically we went back to work, and at a staff meeting, she basically told me that I was not being the person that I should be.
Heather, I want you to put this in the form of a question, whatever it is.
How can we help?
All right, I've had enough of this. I am so tired of us coming out of the chute, falling face forward into a big pile of horse flop. I hate that. Don't you hate that?
Forge on.
No, I mean, it's like we're at the Santa Anita, we're at the racetrack.
And we trip.
The whistle goes, the gate comes flying open.
You get stuck in the gate.
Our shoes are tied together, and we just lay in a big pile of crap.
Yeah.
I don't know who to blame. I blame myself.
Good.
Oh, actually, I blame my parents.
You are to blame anyway.
Chris.
Yeah?
What's going on?
Oh, cool. Well, if you read the thing, I can go on the internet and just, like, talk. I, like, lost my internet virginity at age 9.
What does that mean?
It means, like, do you know what VRSEX is?
No.
Well, it's basically, sex over the internet.
Somebody put a keyboard up your ass?
No, it's not that fun.
Okay.
That's cool. I want to try that.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you talking to another self-help radio show at this time that we should know about?
No.
Do you have a voice in your head?
Yes. It's telling me many things to do.
All right, listen to this voice in your head.
Uh-huh.
Tell us your goddamn question.
Okay. My question is, like, how could, like, whenever I try and, like, stop doing all this nasty stuff on the internet, my friends egg me on because they know I read Anne Rice, and they like, oh yeah, we need the poetic erotica. I love her books. So.
You're gay. No, wait.
No, I've had enough of this.
Well, all right, Chris, I don't know what we can say. If it bothers you, if it's a preoccupation, don't do it.
Okay.
It's
Are you done?
simple. Don't do it.
That's enough of that. I'm ready just to take my microphone and do the rest of the show from a bar. Steve.
Hi, Adam. Hi, Dr. Drew.
Please save us, Steve.
Got a little problem. Was wondering if you guys can help me with. Well, first of all, I think you guys are doing a good thing. Just like to say that.
Thank you.
It's appreciated, I'm sure, by many, including myself. Little question I have, actually a little problem I had with Crystal about a year and a half ago. It didn't agree with my brain.
How long had you been on it for?
Well, to tell you the truth, it was kind of a whirlwind tour of about maybe 8 months or so, pretty much every day.
And what do you mean it didn't agree with your brain?
No, I was being slightly facetious about that. I mean, the real problems have started afterwards. I did it for about, I'd never really done it before. I was in a high-pressure job, sort of, and I started doing it and then just continued doing it straight for about 8 months before I said, whoa, put the brakes on and quit altogether.
All right. And what's your question tonight?
My question tonight is now, about a year and a half later, when I get heated up or, you know, upset or angry or something like that, sometimes I get to the point where it's like, I feel like those days that I was using it, I feel like, you know, so intense about things that I almost have to say, you know, excuse me and step out and take a breath or whatever, you know, almost to the point where I'm like seeing things and like lightheaded and that sort of thing. And I'm wondering if they're related.
How long have you been off it?
Oh God, about probably a year and a half almost.
Are you doing any other drugs?
None, nothing, no alcohol, nothing.
Were you doing anything else with the speed or prior to the speed?
Yeah, during it a little bit, a little drinking, you know, mostly beer, social stuff like that.
How about before the speed?
No.
Nothing.
Well, yeah, smoking a little pot here and there, but nothing with regularity.
All right. Usually the sort of paranoias and agitation and whatnot that people get if they come off speed resolve within about 6 months. All right, Steve? There are, however, persistent problems with anxiety very often, anxiety at panic attacks.
Right.
People on cocaine will particularly get this, and sometimes they don't begin until 5 years after they stop using.
Really?
So to have persistent anxiety and mood disturbances after you stop using is not that uncommon. I can't tell you for sure whether or not they can be chronic with speed, because the sort of widespread addiction to speed has only been around like 5 years or so.
Right.
We certainly can see chronic stuff with cocaine. I suspect it will settle down in a few years and maybe be more than you would have been had you not used the speed, but not terribly troubling to you.
Right.
That'd be my prediction.
Have you heard anything about sort of seeing sort of hallucination type things? You know, almost like it's not like seeing objects dancing around, but I mean, I'm talking more like seeing a certain color sort of, or seeing a pattern, like let's just say the color purple, like in front of my eyes sort of thing, you know.
If that's happening, I would get that checked out. I mean, you could have some residual seizure activity even from speed. Speed, it is alleged, there's some evidence now that it can cause some brain damage, so it makes sense that you might have some visual problems or even thought problems persistently. But I've never really, myself, never seen any persistent problems routinely like that.
Okay. Now I have a new mandate for the listeners.
Yeah.
Here's what I'd like everyone within the sound of my voice to do, everyone who's even had the slightest notion of ever calling this show. I want you to begin your inner monologue now. I want you to begin the inane rambling that you do when we put you on the line. I want you to start it right now.
Yeah.
When you get to the point where it becomes poignant,
and you have a question,
funny, or you just have a good question, I want you to stop. That's where I want to start.
Then pick up the phone.
Then pick up the phone,
Right.
or even if you're on hold, begin the inane rambling now in the inner monologue form. Stop at the question, and we'll take it from there. Brett?
Yes. My question is, I have two parents, and they're getting...
Imagine that.
Drew's getting testy now. Yes?
And they're getting a divorce.
Right.
And they're not making me choose between them or anything. But I'm just wondering how I should go about choosing something like this.
How far away are they moving apart?
Oh, my dad's going to be living in Torrance. My mom's going to be living here in Huntington Beach. It's not that far, and there'll still be visitation. I'm just wondering who to live with primarily.
So
yeah.
They're going to have mutual custody of you?
I think, I'm not sure how it works, but, I'd see, one of them on weekends and then live with the others.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, my folks got divorced. I sort of split it up.
Did you?
Yeah, went over to my mom's. I think it was at my mom's house 3 nights a week, my dad's house.
So you needed chocolate pudding or something, then you went back to your dad's.
Oh, my dad was no prize. Let me tell you, his cooking. You know what my dad would do? He would cook spaghetti. Then he would open the ragu jar right out of the fridge and just dump it. Right on. He didn't even heat the frickin' stuff. It wasn't bad enough that it wasn't homemade. I mean, it's right out of the jar, but he would dump it right on top. So it sort of got luke and then went to cold by the time you ate. And then if he was feeling especially adventurous or it was a big occasion, like Christmas or New Year's, no, he'd open a can of generic corn and dump a little of that on top.
Terrible.
And for dessert was Sara Lee pound cake with peanut butter spread on it. I couldn't talk for 3 days after eating that stuff.
But how did you make a decision who to stay with? Was it basically who lived near your school?
Oh, I haven't made the decision.
No, I'm talking to Adam.
Oh,
yeah, I don't quite remember. I was pretty young. I was like 7 or 8. So I guess they moved like a mile and a half apart and decided, how
to do it.
Split them up.
Right.
I don't think either one of them wanted me full time. I think they actually hadn't overheard an argument saying you take him.
Brad, do your parents seem to be suggesting something to you? A plan?
Not really. I think we've had friends that have been divorced, and they've seen what's happened.
Yeah.
And they're just sort of leaving it to me.
I think that's not ridiculous, but a little unfair. I think that you ought to make that decision with them, particularly if you're having trouble deciding for yourself. I think they ought to give you some advice. They ought to, make a plan for you. And they're your parents are crying out loud. This is their marriage breaking up. It's their family.
Well, and you just stay where you are. I mean, if you live in a house with your folks and your dad picks up and moves away into an apartment, you stay in your room, basically, and then you go over there and visit him on the weekends. Casey.
Hi.
Hey, you're on Loveline.
Tonight.
Good.
Thanks. I have a question. I was dating this guy for about 2 years, and we broke up about 1.5 years ago. And for a year straight, he would call me up every couple weeks. Now, I never called him at all because I just wanted to have no attachment.
That's right. You should have said that.
It's okay if you're quoting someone, isn't it? It becomes art. It's like a song.
No.
Yeah, let me give a quick rule of thumb. Not only can you not swear over the phone or on this radio show, but you can't repeat swear words that other people said either.
I'm sorry, I forget that. That is Murphy's Law, isn't it?
That's all right, Casey. So you wanted nothing to do with this guy, and you made that abundantly clear, except you had sex with him twice a month.
Listen, he was my first love.
Twice a month?
Every 2 weeks he called, came over, and had sex, but she didn't return his call.
Listen. He would tell me that he loved me, and he would give me the impression that we're going to get back together. And he was my first love, and I loved him so much, and I still love him. And my question is, what do? I still love him so much, and every once in a while he'll still do this, and I don't.
He is.
And I don't.
Give me a word, Adam, for this guy.
Well, can I tell you?
Pariah?
No.
Can I tell you one thing that he did do?
A-hole?
Yeah, a jackhole.
No, he's a jackhole.
This guy is an asshole.
He's that too.
I don't know what to do. I mean, I love him so much. He was my first love. And
what you do is you end all contact with him for 6 months. And your perspective on him will change.
How do I do that?
Because this guy is abusing you badly.
How do I do that when he calls me?
Do not leave an answering machine on. Terminate any phone conversation.
He comes and visits me at work?
No, that's not acceptable. You do not have to allow him to do that.
Yeah, and here's the deal with this, quite frankly. if you're open to it, if you leave the barn door open just a crack, just enough for a little daylight to get through, the man will wedge his penis into it, pry it open, and slide through. That's how guys work.
Leading with that.
Leading with the penis, with a running start.
I
tried that once. I hurt my nose.
I don't understand. We had a wonderful relationship, and
Can't say you don't anymore.
He just turned to crap. I mean, I don't.
Yes,
that's all guys do.
Well,
Guys are like a piñata out in the rain. They look good when you're bringing them back from Alvera Street, but man, as soon as they get wet, they just turn a big thing of paper mache mush.
And now my self-esteem is just crushed. Like I have no self-esteem. I feel horrible.
I don't think you will regain it unless you end this relationship. You have no opportunity to nurture yourself with your peers and try to test your environment and develop new relationships until you end this one.
Yeah, the self-esteem.
This one is an abusive one.
Yeah, it's like.
Does that include his family as well? Because I'm real close with his family.
You got to terminate everything and get on with your life so you can rebuild your esteem.
Yes, it is. It's like it's like a wound. It scabs over, and then you pull the scab off. Then it scabs over, and you keep picking on it. You have to just let it dry up. And when it comes to that first love stuff, I know it's a toughie. But
the rules apply even more importantly to that one.
Yeah,
because that's the one that's the hardest to get over, and you've got to just do it. You have to just end it because people cling to the most dysfunctional of first relationships.
It is just such an ass kicker, that first one.
Yeah.
But it only gets better because you become calloused and jaded and angry, and then it puts you in perfect position to ruin all your other relationships after that, and that's when it gets easy. Ryan.
Yes.
You're on Loveline.
Yeah. First of all, I have to say, my friend called in yesterday, and while I was driving home, and he was telling you guys about my fear and hatred of sex.
Oh, you're the one.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm the one.
Yes.
And I just had to set a few things straight.
Now, were you coming home from a Trekkie meeting?
No.
Dungeons and Dragon Club?
No, I was just coming home from his house.
All right.
And, heard him on the air, and I was like, what is this guy talking about?
How'd you know he was talking about you?
I know. I knew. Because I don't know too many people that have the same fear of sex that I do.
Okay, so, you're not denying it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, what's up? What did he get wrong?
Well, despite the fact that my dad's a religious fanatic,
it
has nothing to do with the scenario because he does not pressure me in any way whatsoever. I developed this theory, or this hatred of it, approximately six months ago, about that time.
Right.
And, I was living out of the house, so he has no effect.
Okay, how did you develop it?
Well, a while back, probably about a year ago, I was in a relationship, and when the girl dumped me, it killed me.
Were you sexually involved with her?
No, not at the time. Well, no, not at all. And
let me tell you, when there's no sex involved, you can only be so destroyed. I hate to sound like a big
I know,
but
and trust me, I know. When I look back at it in hindsight,
it's like getting fired from a job you don't get paid much at. I mean, you don't like getting fired, but you'll live.
I mean, I dropped out of school.
So it really affected him.
Yeah, but Ryan, you weren't into sex before this.
No, I was.
But you weren't having sex with the person who dumped you.
No, you're right.
All right.
But it did affect me that much.
Okay.
Went to some counseling a couple months after that. That didn't really do much for me. But then, just this summer, I got involved in another relationship with another woman. And the opportunity came up, but for some reason I was blind to it, and I really regret it because I feel like it probably would have been a good thing.
All right, Ryan.
Yes.
I'm this close to replaying the phone call your buddy made last night. What do you got new for us?
What do you mean?
Okay,
well,
this is his problem. All right, why are you scared of sex?
I don't know. That's what I'm talking about. I
think it's you're afraid of intimacy, and you were hurt by the relationship you did lose, and you have a sense that being physically intimate with somebody will connect you more intensely emotionally with them, and I think that is accurate. And I think you should have a healthy concern or anxiety about being sexually active. But I suspect if you find a relationship with which you're comfortable and which you achieve some degree of emotional intimacy finally, when you're finally open to that again, then it will seem more appropriate and more you'll be more at ease with the idea of a physical relationship because you already have connected emotionally. So my advice to you is just to be very slow about it, find a good relationship, settle down in it, and I bet all this stuff will settle down.
Yeah, and once you get the balls rolling, it'll be fine. Do you understand, Ryan?
Yeah.
You just need a little push.
But you were hurt too badly by that first relationship, and thank goodness you hadn't been sexually active, or God knows how badly you could have been traumatized.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Could
because
you imagine if he'd gotten laid?
No, because that makes it worse, Adam.
Humanity.
And it's that back to that first time thing again, too. It makes it a lot worse, and that's why people need to be careful with those kinds of relationships.
All right.
Yeah.
Unless they enjoyed enough that they go out and find another sexual relationship and stop complaining about the one they just lost. And we'll be back.
Hi, I'm Robin Leach with those champagne wishes and caviar dreams. And you're listening to Loveline with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
You certainly are, and here's the phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191. The fax number, 310-854-4455. I am Adam Carolla. He is Dr. Drew, and joining us in the studio is Justin Whalin. You know him better as Jimmy Olsen from Lois and Clark. Now, you don't look like the Jimmy Olsen from the old series, and I guess you get that all the time.
Yeah, no, I don't look much like him. The whole idea behind him has changed a lot.
Yeah, I guess, but Dean Cain doesn't look like George Reeves.
No, nor does he play the bumbling idiot like Christopher Reeves did in the movie. So
let me ask you: does Dean Cain? You ever see him like in his dressing room shoving a ball of socks or something down the front of the outfit? Because that is the first thing I would do.
No, I don't think so.
I would put like a folding chair and an ottoman in there and just come stumbling out on a set every day.
Baseball bat or something. Right?
Right. Yeah, some of those big sausages you see hanging in the window.
All right, Adam, we got it. We got the idea. God almighty.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
I'm interviewing a guest.
Yeah.
Okay?
Indeed you are.
Go put your thumb up, someone. I'm busy over here. All right, now, Justin, let's talk about the show. You've been on it for one season. It's been on 3 seasons now.
This is actually the end of my second season.
And did you replace Jimmy Olsen?
Yeah, a guy named Michael Landis was playing him the first year, and I started the first episode of the second year.
So is it kind of the thing like the drummer in the Partridge Family or something? Did they kill him and then bring you on, or what'd they do?
No, it was kind of just a switcheroo. I don't really know all the reasons behind it. I think the network felt he looked a little bit too much like Dean, and they wanted a little bit more of a look differential between the two.
What is Dean's nationality?
He's Japanese and German. I don't know. He's definitely
Adam, that would be Hawaiian.
That's Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next time that's what I figured, right?
Yeah.
Next time you see him, say mahalo.
Mahalo?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell him that.
And he'll give you one of these. I'm giving the hang loose thing.
He's real proud of his Japanese heritage.
Let me tell you, you learn the word mahalo. You know, you speak Hawaiian essentially. Don't you?
What exactly does mahalo mean?
Oh, that's the beauty of mahalo. It means throw your trash here. It means welcome off the airplane. It means go the hell back to the mainland. It means thanks for attending the Don Ho show. Mahalo just means everything. The laziest culture in the world.
Fasten your seatbelt.
3 words. Fasten your seatbelt, mahalo. Yeah, it's all mahalo. All right, we're going to get back to the calls, but I just want to talk to you real quickly about, first off, what'd you win an Emmy for?
Oh, I won an Emmy for an after-school special with Meredith Baxter and Joanna Cassidy about lesbian mothers raising a son.
Oh, I remember that. You were one of the lesbian moms?
Yeah. I played. It was a real stretch. But
no, you were the kid who was being raised, and
yeah, I was raised, and it was about the prejudice that I dealt with having 2 lesbian mothers.
Right, yeah. You know, when I was growing up, they had stuff about, like a real hard-hitting after-school special would be like, Mom Burnt the Fudge was one of them. They just didn't... Could you imagine when you were growing up an after-school special being about lesbian moms?
In fact, I think that's where the Conjunction Junction originated, was somewhere in between the after-school specials.
Well, even this one was a little too hot a topic for even these days. A lot of affiliates wouldn't air it.
But you got the Emmy out of it.
But I got the Emmy, so I
really
wasn't
one of those cheap local Emmys, was it?
No,
it was the real Emmy.
It was the real deal.
So you know these people that say, yeah, I won an Emmy, but it's for Fresno. Like a local Emmy.
It's just a Fresno
They did like a used car commercial in Fresno, won a local Emmy, and they're mounting on their hood and bragging about it.
No, it's the real deal.
We're going to the phones. You're going to help us out. Billy.
Hey.
Hey, you're on Loveline.
Adam, how are you?
Good.
Dr. Drew.
Billy.
Got a little question for you.
Go ahead.
It's a question about herpes.
All right.
Remember, we're calling those happies now.
Oh, right. right. Yeah, I got the happies.
We're going to make people comfortable about talking about them.
Well, actually, I don't think I have them. Somebody said that she thinks I have them, but I have never had any symptoms of having the happies.
She has been diagnosed with them now?
Well, that's sort of speculation. It's not like the big, nasty, seething, heinous happies. Had a little abrasion once.
You're going to have to stop talking with, metaphor. What happened? She went to a doctor and they said you probably have herpes?
Yeah.
Okay. And how long ago did she get diagnosed?
This is a while ago.
How long ago did you have contact with her?
It's been months.
Okay. And she alleges that you were the only person that she had contact with before going in for this test.
Right.
All right.
I've never had any symptoms at all.
Indeed, either of you could have had it and not know it. Okay. It is certainly more likely for a woman to have it and not know it than a man, because it's usually pretty visible, even if it's not terribly symptomatic. Men will notice something. Typically, it is quite symptomatic, and it's often associated with a flu-like syndrome and a lot of swelling of the lymph nodes down in your inguinal area. That initial outbreak, which it can be quite uncomfortable, quite a lot of burning and pain, would usually resolve within 2 weeks, and then it will recur. And it will recur generally in the same place that the original outbreak occurred. And the subsequent outbreaks are much less intense, and they tend to sort of recur less frequently and less intensely with time, and finally really kind of stop occurring.
Let me ask you a happy-related question. Happy's-related question. Happy simplex. How often is your normal outbreak? Let's say I have the happies.
Mm-hmm.
I've had it for a while. I've had my initial outbreak. Is there an average? I know it varies from person to person. I know it varies to stuff like exposure to sunlight and stress and stuff like that. But what would be your average?
I would speculate that in the first couple of years, anyway, it's probably every 1 to 3 months.
Okay.
And then it tends to get longer and longer between the intervals. The intervals between the outbreaks get longer and longer as time goes along. And women may not know they have it. They can just feel some pelvic pain, feel kind of uncomfortable, feel like they have a flu.
Is that because the happies is lodged in them?
Can be up inside, that's right.
And guys, let me tell you, nothing gets by a man and his penis.
But it may, when it goes, men
Am I right, Justin?
Oh, yeah.
But men also have a great deal of denial.
You go over here for the fine-tooth comb every night, don't you?
Yeah, that's my best friend.
But men also have a great deal of denial, and they may see something there and go, oh, I don't want to see the doctor, it's okay, it's not hurting me, and it goes away in 2 weeks, and they go, oh, it's nothing, forget it.
Well, what I'll do is if I have some discoloration on my penis, I'll paint my penis that entire color so it doesn't stand out and I can move on.
Well, the only time I've ever had a sore on it is when I used it too hard when I was a kid.
We driving in a nail? What were you using it for, Billy?
Well,
I see.
Things got a little rough.
I understand.
Wait, were you by yourself or with somebody else?
Of course, by myself.
Yeah, it was one of those sick days from junior high?
No, it was every day at junior high.
That's better.
So either of you could have had it, frankly. More likely to have been her that had it. It's a case in point for why people should wear condoms, because people can harbor things and not even know it. And certainly if you do have any hint or belief that you might have herpes or warts, you've got to wear condoms because you are always potentially contagious.
Sarah.
Hello.
Hey, you're on Loveline.
Hi. I have a question for Dr. Drew.
Yes, sir.
I am interested to know if it's possible for a woman to be sewn up somewhat to, shall I say, make everything a little tighter.
You mean like if you have an episiotomy after you give childbirth or something?
Exactly, that sort of thing. But
just for people that don't understand the whole, you guys are looking at me with the strangest, most pained look.
No, I'm going to have this operation performed on my wife. If I can't make mine bigger, if we can't bring...
Well, exactly.
Muhammad can't go to the mountain, we're bringing the mountain to Muhammad. That's what I'm saying.
What was that?
I don't know what that was.
The mountain moving?
The mountain came to Muhammad. It's all relative.
Well, just for people that don't understand, what happens very often when the first child is born, the women will tear.
Right.
And so to prevent that, the doctor will cut along the perineum, maybe halfway to the rectum even, and then sew it back up again. And there still can be some tearing, and sometimes the tearing even goes right through the rectum.
No! Oh, yeah.
Very unpleasant. The answer to your question is, yeah, but...
I'm thinking when I get married, I'm going to have my wife's mouth sewn up, too. I mean, not completely, but just enough to make the penis look wider. Would you agree with that, Drew?
No. But, Sarah, yeah, there can be things like that done, but it's not something that is a big deal for people.
Sarah, what's going on?
Well, no, it just seems to me like
It seems to me like you shouldn't be obsessing about things like this, frankly.
well,
Drew, let her talk.
Well, I wouldn't call it an obsession for one thing. I mean,
Preoccupied.
It's a matter of curiosity.
Thinking about it. All right, it can be done. To answer your if it's just curiosity, the answer is it can be done.
Sarah.
Yes.
When you have sex with your man, is it like ringing the dinner triangle? Is that what's going on?
No, I wouldn't necessarily say that, but I mean, it seems like
It's like a straw in a big gulp, isn't it?
You mentioned it on the show one time how it, I mean, and obviously they were being flippant somewhat. It's not the question. Stop worrying about penis size, start worrying about vagina size. It just seems like if everybody's so worried about their penises being too small, but if you just made the vaginas a little smaller, then it wouldn't be really an issue anymore.
But the size of the male genitalia is not an issue of experience for the male. It's some kind of strange.
Oh yes, it is.
No.
Drew, let me say this, and I'm serious now. How about a drawstring being woven in there somehow? Could be like a Crown Royal sack. It'd be like a golf glove. You know, the size that fits all. You're with a man, you want to feel him a little better, you cinch it up a little. You're with another guy, you let a little out.
Yeah.
Sarah?
Yeah.
It can be done.
Are you repulsed?
No.
Are you going to get it done?
No.
Okay.
I am repulsed.
The whole idea of someone coming near your genitals with something sharp just frightens me.
Well, there's the whole piercing thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't do it?
No, I wouldn't do it.
You don't have any tats, any piercings?
No, I wouldn't do it.
You still get chicks?
Okay.
Don't be modest. You get chicks.
Yeah.
But that's probably because of the TV show. But
right.
You'd probably still get some on your own, right?
Once in a while.
Not the same caliber of
Not
chick,
the same caliber.
but
Definitely.
some. I mean, there's some.
All right, there's one. I got one.
Justin,
Jesus, man.
Do not agree to everything this man says. God only knows what he'll have you agreeing to in a few
Leading
moments.
me down a road. That
Yeah, believe me.
We're going to go a little farther down the road when we come back. We's back here on Loveline. The phone number 1-800-LOVE-191, 1-800-568-3191. Fax number 310-854-4455. We're here with Dr. Drew and Justin Whalin. Justin, you may know as Jimmy Olsen on the hit TV series. I guess we can call it a hit, right?
Yeah.
Lois and Clark. It's on Sunday nights on ABC.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Entertainment Weekly called it a hit, so you're more than welcome.
Oh, they did?
Yes. So officially we're a hit now.
Now, what's your guys, what place you guys coming in? How you doing in the rating?
It depends week to week, but we're usually mid-20s to low 20s.
You beat The Simpsons?
Yes. Sorry, man.
There's no justice. No, not that your show's not fine. I just happen to love
whatever, man.
The Simpsons. That's cool, man. It's okay because we're here every Sunday night. Next week, maybe we'll do some sort of simulcast where we have the whole gang in here and they run the show and everyone turns the sound down and we just basically improvise.
Oh, that would be fun.
We'll put it up on the monitor. I'll play the part of Dean Cain. You play the part of, what's her name?
Terry Hatcher.
Terry Hatcher, Drew. I think you could pull that off. You might have to show a little leg, but that's not going to hurt ratings. Matt?
Yeah.
You're on Loveline.
Hey, Dr. Drew.
Hey, Matt.
Andrew. I have a question about steroids.
Anabolic steroids?
Yeah, to build bulk.
Right.
And I was wondering what the side effects were. And what I've heard about those roid rages, and I just want to know what
the side effect profile is prodigious. It's a protein list of problems, not the least of which is death. Okay? Mood disturbances. I've seen people commit suicide from these drugs. There's serious liver problems, kidney failure, heart attacks, strokes, high blood pressure.
Go to the penis, Drew.
There's testicular shrinkage, infertility.
No, I was talking about me.
Chronic erectile dysfunction. I've seen that. People who never again regain their erectile function. And these substances were never, ever meant to be used on healthy people.
But wait a minute, Drew, you look good in trunks.
There's no way that something like this is going to enhance your health. It can only put you in danger.
Matt, why do you need this?
To build bulk.
Right. But here's the deal. Let me give a quick physique thing here. And Justin, you jump in any time. You seem like a healthy lad. You look like you're in proportion.
Thank you.
I haven't checked the nether regions yet, but everything looks like it's hanging fine on him.
Stop looking at me that way.
Matt, listen.
Yeah.
let me tell you what women like. Let me tell you about the guys who bulk themselves up too much. By the way, this is for men. It's not for women. Women don't like it. Men bulk themselves up so other men fear them. Women cannot stand big, jukebox-looking, dorky, bulky, clunky guys. Women like guys with physiques like swimmers, guys with physiques like middleweight. I'm saying this because basically I'm like middleweight boxers, guys with physiques like dancers or cyclists or something like that.
Why do you want to bulk up? Is it for football or something?
I'm just real scrawny.
Yeah, but look how much trim, your David Bowies and your Mick Jaggers.
Yeah, Mick Jagger did just fine.
Although I got to believe some of that's got to do with the band. I just got to believe that.
Might have been a couple drugs, but I don't know.
The point is, and also when you change yourself too much, you know what you look like? You look like one of those cars you see when some guy gets himself like a 79 Datsun B210. Basically gets like a $400 car, and then he sinks $8,000 into it. He puts the top on it. He puts the wheels on it. He gives it the paint job. And what it basically looks like is a $400 Datsun that you sunk too much into, and you just look like a bigger a-hole. The body is the same way. When you try to alter the body too much, you start looking funny.
Your face puffs up. You get acne. It's not worth it, dude.
Yeah. Plus the whole penis factor, which I could do a show on.
Huge.
Well, I heard
not huge, small.
Well, yeah.
Big factor, small penis.
Exactly. You heard that what?
I heard they make roids now that don't shrink size.
Look, if they're anabolic, if they're androgenic, they have these side effects. That's it.
Matt.
Yeah.
Start a band. Am I right? That's what you got to do when you're lanky. Or start writing poetry. Get weird. Grow your hair out. And chicks love that whole kind of... They love that, scrawny, spindly, disheveled look. And start getting angry. That works too. Just walk around all pissed off and brooding all the time, and it's fine. Don't wash anymore either. You'll attract a whole new class of woman that way. Ready to go back to the phones there, Drewski?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Krista.
Yeah. Hi, Adam. How are you doing?
Good. Say hi to Justin.
Hi, Justin. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good.
This is always a tough question. You watch Lois and Clark?
I'm so sorry I don't.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Does anyone have the brains to lie anymore? What happened to common courtesy?
Okay, I definitely. Every Sunday.
Sunday, you enjoy it?
Oh, wonderful show. Wonderful.
You think Justin's doing a good job?
Wonderful job.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent job.
Okay. Fantastic.
Okay, my question is, the last couple of months, I have had just no inclination at all to have a sexual relationship with my husband. And I'm wondering what I can do to get that kind of spark back there.
How long has this been?
It's been, I'd say, a good 2-3 months.
Justin Whalin, TV's Jimmy Olsen, what do you think?
Man, that's brutal. I don't know. If you're married, how long have you been married?
We've been married a little over 2 years.
2 years, and you don't find him attractive anymore?
No, it's not that. I think it may have to do with I have a lot of stress going on in my life right now, and a lot of decisions that I'm making, and it's not that he's not attractive. I'm just so stressed and kind of overworked that I'm so tired. I'm thinking that may have something to do with it.
So, is he getting upset?
Are you there?
We're here.
Is he getting upset?
I'm sorry, what?
Is he getting upset about it?
Well, kind of. He's kind of thinking maybe there's something wrong with him.
Uh-huh. Now, does he take the proper channels to coax you into sex?
Yeah.
Does he give you like draw a bath for you and sprinkle a trail of rose petals over to the tub and do all that crap that never works?
Not to that extreme, but he does do all that stuff, massages, and makes me dinner and stuff like that, to, try to relax me. It doesn't, something's not working. And
it still ain't working, because I got to tell you, the next move he makes is going to be for hookers, Krista. I know men.
No.
We'll start with rose petals, end with hookers.
Krista, do you have kids?
No. Oh, my God, no.
Are you on any medications?
No.
Are you on the birth control pill?
Nope.
Did you recently come off the birth control pill?
No.
All right.
You a Rush Limbaugh fan?
No.
That can slow down the libido.
No.
All right. Well, I agree with what these guys are telling you then. Just, it may just be, you're going to be married for a long time. You may have transient periods where that's not a priority, and both of you just have to be patient with that and pay attention to it and try to find a way back. But just recognize that a lot of things come to bear on your relationship, and this may be a time when that's not a priority.
I'm going to get a lot lot of flack for this next comment, by the way. But
should I just turn my headphone down?
And maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm coming from
just maybe.
Okay, just maybe. But here's my take. Can't you just lie there and let him go to town?
Oh, God.
How difficult is that? Tell him to do it while you're sleeping.
Oh, my God, he tries. It doesn't matter. I will wake up.
You wake up?
I'll wake up. He'll say, honey, come on. I'll be halfway asleep, and I hear, honey, come on. And I'll, no. I wake right up. No.
Well, if he's nagging at you like that, too.
Let just be there. I mean, you like the guy, right?
Oh, I love it.
Well, how many calories you burning just lying there? Believe me, that's more than I get. He'd be thankful for that. You know, when a woman moves around and talks and stuff, that's an extra. That's like Jimmy's on the Sunday. That's not standard. That's air conditioning in a moonroof. That's not tires in an engine. Do you know what I'm saying, Krista?
Yeah.
So what's wrong? So just Ann is giving me a look.
Well, I want to know if maybe it's something that'll eventually go away, or if there's something that I can
Krista, I don't know how many different ways we can all say this. We believe it's something that will eventually go away.
Yeah, it's going to be him. Eventually, he's going to go away.
No, I don't think so. I think that when she's less stressed, when there's other
time for it,
make some time.
Some time for it.
Yeah, but try to aim towards it becoming a higher priority, and it'll be fine.
Good luck.
Oh, that's a tough one. Justin.
Hey, how you doing?
Not that Justin. This Justin. You're on Loveline.
Hey, Adam. Hey, Dr. Drew. Hey, Justin. How you guys doing?
Good,
man. How are you?
Good, thanks. I have a question about the gay aptitude test.
Yeah.
All right, I listened last night, and I took it myself. I only scored a 21. I think I'm safe.
Yeah, you're in there.
And I gave it to a few people at school today, and they all seemed. Everybody got into it, and I had women asking me if there was one for them.
Yes, there will be the lesbian aptitude test, the LAT, the LAT.
Is that coming soon?
Yeah, that'll be coming next week.
Is there an HAT?
Yeah, the heterosexual, that'll be tomorrow night.
Oh, all right.
So again, poise yourselves with the pad and pencil, because that'll be coming tomorrow night. Yeah, I still have my people out there. I have a team of college students, interns. They're out researching right now. I've sent them to the bowling alleys. I've sent them to the golf courses and to the sandal shops around this fine country of ours. They're pulling together questions, and we're putting together the test as we speak. Okay?
That's great. Oh, what about, what's going to be on this, though? Have you got any ideas?
For the lesbian test, well, there'll be talk about love of performers, of course, the Katie Langs and various other female performers. There'll be the love of sports. There'll be the short cropped hair portion. If we can see where the barber shaved the back of your neck, that could be something.
Wait, I have a question here.
Give yourself a point for every flannel shirt you have, stuff like that.
Well, I've had a debate with my girlfriend. Is Sheryl Crow gay? Is she a lesbian?
Well, she'd have to take the test in order to be official lesbian, I would imagine. I don't think she's a known lesbian, no.
Can you get her on the show to take it, maybe?
Oh, Ann is giving the universal thumbs in with the lesbian look. Is that true? Ann is thinking yes.
Oh, really?
Although Ann claims any attractive, successful woman is a lesbian. She thinks Candice Bergen's a lesbian.
Less
I
competition.
do not. Where'd you get that from?
I just made that up, Ann.
Thank you.
Just trying to incriminate you on the air. Yeah, well, if we get Sheryl Crow in here, I promise I will ask her about the lesbianism.
Don't tell her it was me, though.
Yeah, Justin from I don't know where, want to know if you're a lesbian? Yeah, what's she going to do, hunt you down and kill you?
I'm hoping not.
All right, but do stay tuned for the heterosexual test, and then later, possibly in this week or beginning of next week, the lesbian test. I feel like I'm doing something with my life at this point.
What would that be?
I feel like Rorschach. Not the guy from Welcome Back, Carter. The guy came up with the psychological test.
Right.
I feel like Pavlov.
You're contributing to the evolution of the scientific
Yes, and I would like all the people within the sound of my voice to write these tests down, to take them to school, to work, to church, perhaps, to have people fill these things out, to find out. And if, God forbid, something should happen to me, well, then my minions will keep the dream alive. A lot like Martin Luther King.
You have minions?
Not really. I got one minion.
Just.
Can you have one minion? And we'll be back. Well, I'm Adam Carolla. He is Dr. Drew, and we're back with Justin Whalin. You know better as Jimmy Olsen from Lois and Clark. Sunday nights, 8 p.m., ABC. And not only has he done this Lois and Clark show, but he has done movies. He's done TV shows. We won't get into them, but I'll mention Wonder Years Blossom, Mr. Belvedere. Never quite got that one. Charles in Charge.
Oh, that was years ago, too.
Scott Baio did that. Basically, he whipped that up to give Willie Ames a gig, didn't he?
Yes, I think that was the
only thing behind that show.
Completely behind the show.
Good. Now, Child's Play 3 from the theatrical world. And that wasn't a movie, that was a film.
That was a film.
Yes.
That was a small independent Sundance film.
Yeah, I think Redford. I could feel he got involved with that one.
He was really behind the scenes.
Child's Play 3 was not too big a departure from 1 and 2, which is this doll became possessed and attacked Chucky. Tried to kill you.
Yep.
You were the kid.
I was the kid.
You were the keeper of Chucky, correct?
I was in the first two. I wasn't in the first two. I came in the third, and I played the main character older. And again, it was Chucky coming after me to take over my body.
Same mom, though, right? Or different?
No, the mom wasn't in the third one.
No mom?
No mom.
Just you and Chucky? Was there kind of homosexual thing going on there, or what?
Well, it was real deep undercover, that whole homosexual
but that
thing. A lot of people didn't get it.
That was the subtext.
Yeah.
That was running.
Way deep. Way deep.
Back with Robert.
Really read between the lines.
Here's the deal: if you're being, if you get a doll and the doll tries to kill you, I understand, and you kill the doll and get away from the doll, but then you go get the doll again and the doll tries to kill you again, and I could even understand that because maybe it was a year or two later, but really the third time there's no excuse for getting the doll back.
It was a really fun doll.
Okay.
You know, it's like your blow-up doll. It's like that. You know, it's like you just can't give that thing up.
You've been monkeying in my van again?
Not really.
We'll be back in 10. Yeah, we're back. Let me give the phone number out for Loveline, 1-800-LOVE-191. The fax number, 310-854-4455. We're here with Justin Whalin from Lois and Clark. He plays Jimmy Olsen. We're here with Dr. Drew. Who would you say you play, Doctor?
On what?
Fantastic. I'm Adam Carolla, and we're going back to the phones. Cecilia.
Hi.
Hey.
What's up?
Nothing.
Anyways, yeah, I'm on the radio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I just wanted to say hi to Justin.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Justin.
Good, how are you?
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that, I watch Lois and Clark every Sunday, and I think you guys are doing an awesome job on there.
Thank you.
It's not like he's writing the show, you understand. He just kind of shows up and they pay him.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you
I'm
write
aware
the show?
of that.
No.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I think that's cool.
Now, what do you like about the show, Cecilia?
Well, for one thing, I like all the actors in there,
Right.
I think Terry, she's great.
Right.
She doesn't play some bimbo,
No, so that's a little disappointing. But
okay.
She's doing a fine job, and she's become such a sex symbol.
Oh, really?
Too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I think in large or in no small part because she's probably playing a more intelligent character. If she was playing sort of a bimbo, I don't think she would have been become the nation's darling the way she is and have her pictures spread out all over the internet and whatnot.
Well, she's supposed to be a journalist.
Mm-hmm. You ever think about Dean Cain?
I'm sorry?
You ever think about Dean Cain in a special way?
Dean Cain?
Yeah, he would be in the show that you love.
Yeah, Superman. Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I think he's really cute.
Yeah. And are they married now?
Not yet.
Weren't they getting married?
Well, it was the whole twist, man.
For Christ's sake, I saw them advertising the wedding one 8 years ago. They're not married yet?
To get married.
Cecilia, explain it to
him.
him.
Amnesia.
Exactly. Tell him how it is.
What happened? He had amnesia?
Yeah.
He thought he was back on Maui?
You know what? I resent you saying that Hawaiians are lazy people.
When did you say that?
I did say it.
I don't remember you saying that.
When you were telling him to tell Dean mahalo.
No, all right.
Mahalo happens to mean hello.
And
I don't appreciate you telling people.
But now, what else besides hello?
Let me explain why the Hawaiians are lazy. First off, they're linguistically lazy. They got 4 words in the whole vocabulary. They got aloha and mahalo. That covers like half their dictionary.
Okay.
Okay, that's number one. Number two, it's not. I'm not knocking them. All tropical paradise people are lazy.
You know what they think about Californians here?
They think tourist bucks. That's what they think.
Seattle, Washington. They think that we are so lazy, that we are so kicked back.
Yeah, that's
why. It's because they're jealous.
Let me tell you something about this Hawaii. There's one building over 2 stories. That was built by mainlanders. Do you understand that? You think Don Ho built that? You think Chin Fung or Jack Lord built any of that crap? Oh, these people sit around and whittle canoes all day. They make hats out of husks. That's what these people do. You go over there, they give you a longboard ride. It's all tourism. I do need to. I'd like to go to Hawaii. I think I keep this wrap up. They're going to send me a few tickets. What do you think? Great strip bars in Hawaii. I'll tell you one brand of people in Hawaii aren't lazy. It's the strippers. They work their asses off.
How do you know that?
Oh, I went to Hawaii for 4 days. I spent 5 days in a strip bar. Don't ask me how the math worked out on that one. I never saw the light of day. Everyone else was snorkeling and longboarding. I sat in a strip bar. No cover charge. Totally nude. You can drink and see total nudity.
All right. Gosh, you know what? I wanted to say hi to Justin, and gee, thanks a lot.
All right.
Bye, Cecilia.
Mahalo. Look, it's not a knock. The hotter the weather, the lazier the people get. It gets hot, they got to nap all day.
When they're there. You're not saying it's a lazy...
No, I'm saying the whole island's lazy.
Yeah, but anybody who happens to be fortunate enough to be there is probably going to get lazy.
Well, we're on vacation. We can be lazy.
Right.
We're paying, $300 a night to stay in a Hilton to be lazy. I'm saying the indigenous people. And this goes for Tahiti. This is everywhere. Everywhere it's over average temperatures over 80 degrees or the rain falls too much. Boom. You go to the cold weather places, people work. They got to keep moving. You got to break a sweat. I'm so right. Come on. You know this. Where else do they nap but in the lazy countries, in the hot countries? It's big nap time. They don't have nap time in Germany. They're too busy cranking out vintage automobiles and watches and chocolate and whatnot. When's the last time you saw, like, Bora Bora try to take over the world? They have the huts with thatch roofs over there. They lie around in the sun. They smoke pot and they eat pineapple and they have a great time. God bless them. They lived to 150. All right. I'm lost now. What do you want to do?
I want to take 5 for me, please.
People know I'm right. That's why they get mad. Lisa.
Hi.
Hey, you're on Loveline.
Hi, Adam. Hi, Dr. Drew. Hi,
Lisa.
Justin.
Hi, Lisa.
Loveline's really cool. You're all doing a good job. I do watch Lois and Clark.
Yay.
It's a good show. I have a question for Dr. Drew.
Yeah, what's up?
I take Effexor, Plaquenil, and Tagamet.
Right.
And other times prednisone.
Right. Do you have arthritis or something?
No, I have, like, long-term illnesses.
Inflammatory bowel disease, or what do you got?
I have stomach trouble. They don't know exactly what. They can't really find out.
Right.
I have Hashimoto's
right.
disease, and I have possible lupus.
So you're getting all the steroids and whatnot, and the Plaquenil for this lupus thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all kinds of stuff. And
what is lupus, Drew?
Lupus is an autoimmune disease where your immune system attacks various organs, most significantly skin and kidney and joints. It can also attack a lot.
So if you have lupus, will you have skin conditions?
You ever seen Pinky, the painting over at the Huntington Museum?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Pinky in the Brain.
No. They'll get what's called a malar rash, sort of a typical classic rash of lupus. Right across the bridge of the nose.
You're giving a museum reference, Drew?
Well, that painting has a picture of somebody with a malary
Do they have a porn section in there?
What?
Is there a porn section in this museum? That's what they ought to do. Then I'd get out once in a while.
Igor and Brainiac over here.
Igor.
All right, so Lisa,
throw your ass right out of here.
So it's Plaquenil, Effexor, and Tagamet, right?
Yeah.
All right, what's the question?
And I get really bad canker sores, and I have, like, a lot of sores in my mouth at times.
Mm.
I sometimes get them down in my throat.
That can be part of lupus,
Yeah, and I used to take Zovirix.
Right.
And they said that they weren't sure if I could take it or not because I can't counteract it with, like, all my other medication. So is that true that I can't take it, or is there anything else?
There are 2 or 3 good antiviral drugs right now. There's Famvir and Valtrex, both of which would be alternatives to the Zovirax. However, I doubt that this is actually a viral eruption you're getting in your mouth. If indeed you have lupus, the mouth sores are part of the lupus syndrome very often. And by the same token, all those medications you're on, almost every one of them can cause mouth sores too, by themselves.
Oh, okay.
So you have plenty of reasons to be getting sores in your mouth, and I wouldn't be encouraging you to add another medication.
Yeah.
But just a caveat here, be careful with Effexor. That's one of the only antidepressants that I've seen a rather serious withdrawal syndrome from. If you come off, it come off very, very slowly.
Good luck, Lisa. Charlene.
Yeah.
You're on Loveline.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, Dr. Drew.
Charlene.
Hi, Adam.
Hi.
Hi, Justin.
Hello.
I'd just like to say that I listen to your show every chance I get, and I think it's really informative. And I also watch Lois and Clark every week. I think it's kind of bad, though, how Lois lost her memory, though. It really sucks.
I thought Dean Cain lost his memory.
No, Lois lost her memory. I figured some people might get upset about that.
Yeah. I thought they were going to get together.
What happened?
Well, they got married, but it ended up he married a clone, and
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
Long story.
Long story. Basically, she ended up getting kidnapped by Lex Luthor, lost her memory, and they're kind of back to square one. But
so this is fiction.
No, it's real.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah. All right, so you didn't buy that, Charlene, or you were upset by it?
I was upset by it because I was ready for them to get together because they've been, playing like dating on and off.
Right,
like,
right.
Come on, just get together already.
Right.
If they do that, then the show will be over. So.
You're not one of those people who goes to the movies and yells at the screen, are you?
No.
Okay.
Almost.
Just checking. You had a question?
Yeah, I do. When my boyfriend and I first started going out, and we were having sex, and I used to come in pretty much all different positions. And then he started going down on me, and then I started to have an orgasm in that position, or doing that. So then now I can't have an orgasm in any other position.
Mm-hmm.
So only when he goes down on me.
You've been ruined. Is that what it is?
It feels that way. I don't know if it's psychological or what. It feels that way.
I was trying to explain this last night. Wasn't I? Oh, don't give me that look.
I don't know.
This is when Ann started yelling at me in the hall about this one during the commercial. I was saying you get used to a certain thing.
Right.
That feels good. That becomes your way.
Right.
Meaning, let me explain how the human body works. I really, and not just sexually, but the human body is on a mechanical autopilot. When you get into your car, you do the same ritual every time with the seatbelt. You turn the stereo on at the same time. You revert everything. When you put the keys in the door and the deadbolt and you do that whole flip with the remote control and the TV, it's all the same. Otherwise, you would spend 45 minutes negotiating like the dishwasher every night and it wouldn't work. You go on autopilot. That's why when you go to someone else's house and they give you the TV remote, you go, where's the on button? And they go to the upper left. And you go, no, well, what's it doing there? It's not there. Where is it? And you can't find it because your thumb is on mechanical, physical remote. Otherwise, there would have to be 70 hours in the day for you to get through it. Do you understand, Drew?
I understand.
Sexually, it's no different. You get used to a certain thing, that thing feels good, that's what floats your boat, and all of a sudden, that's the way you become. That is the danger of going down on your woman, gentlemen. She could enjoy it so much that could just become, you'd have to quit your job and stay home. You know what I'm saying? Justin, you with me?
You lost me at the radio part.
Fantastic. I thought it was right at the beginning.
Yeah, I zoned from there on out.
All right.
Okay.
You got used to this.
You didn't miss much.
Charlene, you're going to have to, you know what you're going to have to do? Here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to break yourself. Like getting a new TV and a new remote, like moving to a new apartment. You need to reacquaint yourself with your erogenous zones. You need to break the cycle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No going down for 2 weeks. I don't care what happens. You don't have an orgasm, you don't have an orgasm. Believe me, love will find a way.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I thought that might work.
Yes, necessity is the mother of invention. If this guy got cold-cocked and had his jaw wired shut, you'd figure something out. Lord knows if I broke my left hand, I'd become inventive. Believe me, that's how it adapts. This is humans. You know, we came from the sea. You know what I'm saying? This is the evolution of man.
Came from the sea?
I'm saying you evolved. I'm saying if my left arm got cut off, I would start masturbating with my foot, and I may not pull it off, but my kids and their kids would eventually get long, flexible legs
I so much
with
don't want to
opposable
hear.
big toes.
I just so much don't want to hear about this.
All right. You don't? What's the matter with you, Drew? You're all stuffy tonight. Carrie.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, Justin.
Hi, how are you?
Adam. Hi, Dr. Drew.
Hi.
I have a problem. It's kind of an unusual problem, I hope. A mutual friend of my boyfriend and I has a very bad, well, actually, he's pretty much all around offensive, but the main thing that's offending to us is that he smells really bad, and it's causing a lot of stress in our relationship. I don't know what to do.
Tell him.
Well,
oh, it ain't that easy.
Which relationship is getting stressed by this?
Well, actually, both. I'm treating my friend, I guess, badly because I'm starting to get really sick of it, and my boyfriend is, like, sick of hearing me talk about it.
So does it not bother your boyfriend?
Yeah, it does, a little.
But not much. It bothers you more.
Yeah, is this Justin?
Yeah.
Yeah. I asked him about it. He says, well, he didn't like it, but he doesn't, like, complain about it.
It's not a big problem for him. He's not.
Women have more sensitive olfactory senses.
And I'm not also
They can
sensitive
smell
either.
things more easily than men.
Really?
Yeah. That is one of God's great jokes.
That they can smell?
That women have very sensitive sense of smell.
Why? What's so funny about that?
Well,
because men have very not good sense of smell, but very.
That goes along with my crawling from the sea thing. There's certain duties men have to partake in where the nose does not need to be as developed.
Yeah, but they tend to produce smells that are not exactly appreciated.
Is his birthday coming up?
Well, it's what?
Is this friend of yours' birthday coming up?
Not for a couple of months, but he always smells.
Buy him some deodorant and some cologne as a joke gift or something.
No, don't do it as a joke.
He's going to love that.
But you're going to have some kind of direct conversation
Yeah, you
with him.
gotta talk
But
to
I
him.
would do it from similar to what you're describing. Get him some kind of a kit of things. Say, look, this.
Oh yeah, that's not going to be offensive.
Whatever it's going to be troubling to him. But you're going to have to do it. I mean, do it from the standpoint of telling him you want him to be able to.
Smell better.
Why don't you get him one of those suction penis enlargers while you're at it too, and just throw that into the kid? Why stop there?
I imagine he needs it.
Get him a toupee. Get him a book on how to pick up single women.
He's going to lose the friendship if he doesn't do something, and he doesn't know it.
I find that hard to believe. I mean,
He doesn't know it.
We can be sitting in the same. He can be in the back seat of the car, and if I'm in the front seat, I have to keep the window down.
He doesn't know it.
He doesn't know it.
He doesn't know it.
Okay.
All right, Carrie, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Do you think it has to do with hygiene, or is this something he's just spooing?
Yeah.
I was going to ask Dr. Drew about that.
Oh, don't worry about Drew. I got the answer.
Because it could.
He has to shave his butt. Is that the deal?
Yes.
I was a medical
Hey, come on,
assistant
man.
for almost 7 years, and I'm 30 years old, and like I was telling Sherry, between those two things, I have never smelled anything like it.
All right. Let me explain how the funk goes. I've talked about this before.
Yeah, you have.
People have their own funk. People like to pass it off as, hey, that guy needs a shower. And sure, there are incidences when you see some guy and he's a transient on the street or something and he smells because he's been, sleeping under a bench or something. But most people who get up and go to work and everything, it does not have to do with hygiene.
But sometimes it does.
You can put a dent in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You put enough talc, and there's something. You put enough talc on yourself, you can mask almost any smell. But normally, you produce your own smell.
Right.
And it's not because he's a dirty guy. It's because he has his funk, and everyone has their own stink going.
Yeah.
Here's the beauty of stink, though, in human beings. Once you walk into the apartment, you go, oh, Christ, I couldn't take a second of this. And then, 4 hours later, you're sitting in there, and you don't notice it until you go back outside again. We're adaptable. Again, coming from the sea.
I thought about you before in his apartment, and it didn't work with him. It didn't go away. You know how you say you adjust?
All right, so this guy's got a real problem. But when you open the door, you go, I am not going to be able to stand 30 seconds of this, and you can hang out in there.
Yeah.
You don't like it, but you can hang out in there.
So do I just say,
Give him a gift, though, and some suggestions of what he can do.
Oh, and Carrie, picture this. Let me tell you, even guys that don't get a funk going, they get it going when they're having sex. You get that whole sex stink going.
Oh, God.
Could you imagine this guy on top of you?
Oh, my God.
That's more information than we all
Imagine him just going away.
I'm trying not
Oh, he's on top, and he puts both hands up on the headboard. You know what I'm saying? Justin, am I right? There's a certain kind of funk you get going when you're having sex.
You're scaring me.
But it's true. Isn't it? Come on.
Yeah. No.
Yes,
I'm not
yes.
Gonna, I'm not
come on. Drew, back me up. You release certain hormones. The same ones you release when you're coming from the sea.
Pheromones.
Pheromones.
Oh, it's the pheromones.
Well, you release the hormones, and that creates the pheromones.
All right, whatever.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right, Drew. Where's your horse been, by the way? It really hasn't gotten out of the barn in a while.
Oh, I'm sure it'll cut loose soon.
I'm getting ready to cut loose in a second. Matt.
Yeah.
You're on Loveline. Drew's getting punchy over there. Drew, pull it together. Let's go. We got a show to do. Matt, ask Justin a question.
Oh, he might know about this. I don't know, but it's more for Drew.
What's up, Matt?
Okay, me and my friend are joining Job Corps, and they have mandatory drug tests.
It's Corps, by the way, like Marine Corps.
No, it's Corps.
Like a dead body. C-O-R-P-S-E?
C-O-R-P-S.
That's core.
That's core.
Pronounced core.
Well, whatever.
That's why he's joining.
Yeah, exactly. No, and I was wondering how long or if LSD would show up in the urine test.
I'm not aware of any widely used urine test for acid. There are some blood tests now, and I had heard there's a urine test available, so I don't know if it's being done routinely. So in terms of how long it would be in the urine, it would be only for a day or two.
Oh, okay. Because that helps out. I'm planning a little psychedelic experience coming up.
Fantastic. Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
Over there on the Job Corps, do you think they would feed you stuff like chili relleno?
I don't know.
Okay.
Well,
another play on words, you see, Drew.
Yeah. I just worry about the casual approach to LSD these days. It's such a dangerous drug.
He's going to the Job Corps. Let him have a good time.
I believe LSD stays in your system almost longer
forever.
Than ever.
Yeah.
Forever?
Possibly.
Yeah,
well, there's debate
tissues,
about it
yeah.
that it may stay in the fat forever. And some of the theories are that the sort of flashbacks are actually the release of LSD from the fat tissue.
Exactly.
Matt.
Yeah.
You looking forward to graduating the Job Corps one day?
Yeah, eventually.
All right. Don't do the drugs. Keep your brain pristine. Okay?
So if you ever do decide to use it, at least it'll be there as an instrument that could be used.
Yes. Let me say this, Matt.
Yeah.
We're all unique in our own way. Do you know what I'm saying? Justin?
Yeah.
You're leaving, aren't you?
Yeah, I gotta go.
You had enough?
Plenty.
You're going to shower when you get home and try to...
I'm going to get rid of this smell, this thing.
There's a funk in
I'm
here.
going to come from the sea, and my pheromones are going to be all back together.
Do you see what you learn on this show?
God, I feel enlightened.
Justin Whalin, I want to thank you for coming in. Much success on the Lois and Clark gig.
Thank you
Again, 8 p.m. on ABC, Sunday evenings. And we'll be back.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Suzanne Summers, and you're listening to Loveline with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla, so don't go away.
That was really Ann. Let me get the phone number out. 1-800-LOVE-191, 1-800-568-3191. The fax number 310-854-4455. I want to thank Justin Whalin for coming in tonight and doing a wonderful job. He is on the road, and we are back here, and we're going back to the phones. Mina?
Hello? Hi.
Hey, you're on Loveline.
Hi, Dr. Drew.
What can I do for you?
Well, I have this friend, and she's about 6 years older than I am.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems that she has contracted the Happies.
Mm-hmm.
And since she's had it, she's been involved with about 6 people, or not involved, but, you know. And
and she knows she has it.
well, she's never been to a doctor about it.
Right.
The guy that she got it from, when she started showing like she got these sores, he said to her, well, it's probably that because I have it.
And they're painful sores?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, recently she's been thinking about getting seriously involved with a guy, and he was talking to me, and he was saying, we were talking about various things that he needs to know about her, and that came up about, like, having any diseases, and he didn't have any idea.
You told him this?
No.
What kind of conference was this? What other things did he want to know?
Oh, like if she thinks that being tied up is weird or not. I don't know. But
Wow, this is a really interesting approach. Go to the friend and
do the interview.
Yeah, get yourself a nice dossier and pre-interview the friend. I guess you're going to get the straight dope. Do you know this? Did you know this guy beforehand?
Well, no. He's like really good friends with her. They went to college together, I guess, or something. I don't know. And I'm just like, guys tend to, I get along really well with men. I'm like, they tend to like to bond with me or confide or whatever. So.
You have large breasts?
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually when guys like to bond or confide with a woman, it means she has big jugs. That's how guys work, by the way.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I didn't. You didn't know that?
No.
I burst your bubble.
Well, I thought it might have had something to do with it. But anyway, I still like to, give, do what I can, regardless of the whole breast issue.
Okay, so did you tell him that
we are devolving as a race?
We certainly are.
With you at the helm.
We're going back to the sea.
Yeah,
bro.
well, indeed, you're leading us back.
Like so much sewage. Mina, did you tell her tell him that she had the happies?
No, I didn't say she didn't, though. I mean, I said that it was something they needed to talk about.
That means yes.
But that's the extent of what you need to do right there. That's it. Don't get involved any more than that.
But
you're already way too involved. Somehow you're going to be the bad guy. She has an obligation to tell him if she, in fact, knows that's what she has.
See, I don't think that she's really, she understands the extent of, like, what she has. And, like, she doesn't want to have kids, but, like, she hasn't been to a doctor. And I, like, tried to get her to read.
Just remind her that it's going to increase her risk of cervical cancer, and that's really the only significant problem with this disease. And she's got to get followed up for at least annually and probably biannually pap smears.
Okay, so I shouldn't. So if he asks me,
if he asks you said the right thing, that he needs to talk to her about it.
That's right.
It's not your place, and that she has an obligation to tell him. That's a fact.
Okay.
And I don't know what state you're calling from, but some of that is a legally a legal imperative.
So.
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, this happies is something that stays with you your entire life.
Yeah.
And if someone gave that to you,
knowingly, if they know it and gave it, because a lot of people don't know they have this thing, but she seems to know, or at least her denial is such. Maybe she hasn't really accepted yet that she has it, but she needs to see a doctor to deal with it, get through that denial, and then deal with it.
Yeah, Mina, listen, you're her friend. Talk to her.
I tried. She's a lot older. Well, not a lot, but she's enough older than me so that she thinks.
All right.
That I'm overreacting.
Well, keep encouraging the guy to talk.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Talk about irresponsible. I mean, you have the happies. You're with 6 guys. Well, first off, the way the guy passed it on to her was she was like, "Hey, what are these lesions?" Well, I have happies, so probably happies. Hey, thanks for that. Okay. I'm glad I picked you up from that red onion, and we had 10 minutes of drunken sex. It was worth it. Because now I have this for the rest of my life. Tremendous.
Wear condoms. That's the bottom line here.
Jill.
Yes.
You're on Loveline.
Hi, Drew. Hi, Adam.
Hey, Jill. What's up?
I just want to know where the sperm goes when a man comes inside of you.
Is this one of those things like, what's the sound of one hand clapping, or if a tree falls in the forest and no one is around to hear it?
No, it's a legitimate question.
Oh, it's a real question. Okay.
It's a real question. I mean, I had a hysterectomy, don't have a uterus. Where does it go?
Into the vagina.
Yeah,
and
but then
a lot
what?
of it kind of leaks out.
Oh.
Some of it gets absorbed, and that's it.
Oh, that's that sliming you get when they're on top. You know what I'm talking about, Drew?
So, Jill, why? What is it you're actually concerned about?
Oh, I'm just wondering. I mean, I don't have a uterus anymore. I mean, I've had kids, and I
very little.
The sperm goes up there.
Very little of it gets up there anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So just kind of gets absorbed?
Well, let me explain.
And or just falls out.
It goes on. It goes, a certain percentage. I think about 40% of it will end up in the comforter. Another 60%, or actually about 55% will be in the sheet. And then there's the 5% miscellaneous mystery sperm, which could be anywhere spread out between the hamper, the kitchen. That sometimes will just get caught in your hair and you wear it to work. But after you then wash the sheet, the sperm will will drain out and go down, and eventually it ends up in the bay.
Yeah, I thought you were going to make the case that there's some kind of undersea, under the city sperm world or something that's evolving now.
Come on, Drew. I'm a lunatic.
Yeah. Jill, how old are you now?
27.
And why did you have hysterectomy?
Because I had all kinds of female problems and cramps all my life. And I had problems with my pregnancies.
What kind of problems?
Well, I had a stillborn the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had emergency cesarean the second time. And I had a cesarean by my choice on the third time because I wanted to get my tubes tied.
None of that has anything to do with why somebody would get a hysterectomy.
Because I had endomyosis.
Endometriosis.
No, endomyosis.
Oh, I see. So you had sort of uterus growing into the wall of the muscle of the uterus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well that's the reason.
Drew, what's a stillbirth? Is that just being born dead?
Right.
I don't want to call it that.
You call it that if you want.
Oh, okay. Stillbirth. Well, I didn't know. You always hear stillbirth. I didn't know if it was. All right, that's it. Boom. You're born. Okay. See, that was delicate.
Yeah. Thanks, Adam.
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of people listening. I assume it meant you're born. You didn't have
Thanks
any.
for bringing us up. I appreciate it.
Yeah, all right.
But Jill, anything else going on? I mean, you're okay?
Oh no, I've never felt better in my entire life.
You're just curious. All right.
Let's not live in the past, Drew. She's going
She's
to
fine.
fish her uterus out of the
Don't worry, it's not
dumpster
gonna,
over at the hospital and get it sewn back in.
It's not going to affect you at all in terms of shouldn't affect you at all in terms of your sexual performance and whatnot, okay?
Really? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Bye-bye.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye.
I think that's what she was worried about. I think that was the reason for the question.
Yeah. No, it helps even sexually.
Well, it does if she was having a lot of pelvic pain and whatnot. It takes that all away.
Right. It's like when you're a kid, you got a bicycle, you took the chain guard off. You know what I mean?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to follow you tonight, Adam. I'm even trying to preempt you.
I'm really all over the place.
Oh, you really are.
Well, I have
it's all right.
no idea what that
is. You be
you.
It's just great.
Thank you. Jacob.
Oh, I've been trying 2 months to get on here.
Yeah, 2 months seems to be the standard length of effort to get on this. It's never a month and a half. It's never 3 months. It's always 2 months, which always leads me to believe it's BS. But go ahead, Jacob.
I've been listening to your show for the past 3 months, and you guys are great. I stay up every night to hear you.
Thank you.
Okay, I went out with this girl for about a month and a half, and I was just completely in love with her, and I thought she was completely in love with me. And then I go off for Christmas break, and I'm gone the full 2 weeks, and I get back, and she kind of treats me like crap.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And she dumped, and we kind of break up, and then she goes out with a good friend of mine 2 weeks later, and I see them together every day, and I have problems with it. Should I go up and confront her about it?
No.
Or should I just keep it all in?
I don't know if you should keep it in necessarily, but you should just accept what is and let that relationship drift away. Don't have any kind of interaction with her if you can possibly avoid it. Was she your first sort of love?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. So as Adam was saying tonight, that's the hard one. Yeah.
That is just hellacious.
I mean, the average duration that it takes someone to get over a lost relationship like this is about not so much the first time, but just on average 6 months. And that 6 months really has to be with no contact, if at all possible.
Alrighty.
So you got to just kind of hang in there. The most important thing you can do is not hold your feelings in, but find people you can express them to,
I've talked
who
to
can support you, and then get on with your life. Because as soon as you find somebody else, suddenly those feelings will magically disappear.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not like I let her, ruin my life.
We got it.
I go on, but it's just
Good.
depressing me to see her with him.
Of course.
Every day.
Of course, but let it be.
Let me give my quick take on this, too, by the way. And this is would fall in the heading of legitimate advice, something we've been in desperate need of tonight.
You've been avoiding it pretty carefully.
No, but I've given some thought to.
Oh.
You're going to, when the relationship ends, especially if you're the dumpee, which means not that you got dumped, but that they took a dump on you before they dumped you. You've been dumped.
Dumped upon.
You've been dumped upon and dumped in every way imaginable. You're going to be miserable. It could be 6 months. It could be a year. Mm-hmm. You are going to be, especially if it's your first relationship, you're going to be torn apart. Here's the important thing. You must keep going, and you must be able to look back at this time in years to come and go, at least I didn't waste my life. Meaning, I kept up with my studies.
Right.
I kept going to the gym. I didn't drop out of school and spiral into alcoholism and drug abuse.
Over this stupid thing.
Right. This happened to me when I was 19 or 20.
You spiraled into drug abuse? No,
I'm doing that now.
Oh.
Then I had a stronger constitution, and I just said, I'm miserable. I feel like crying every day, but I'm gonna work, I'm gonna study, I'm gonna do whatever I have to do, and I'm gonna keep up. And even if I'm sort of ruined inside, I'm not gonna let it ruin my life on the outside, because that's what you can't get back.
Right.
I mean, there are going to be times in your life when you're unhappy, but you can't pack it in.
Right.
And we'll be back. Yes, 1-800-LOVE-191. That would be the number for Loveline. Fax number 310-854-4455. His name, Dr. Drew. My name, Adam Carolla. And her name, Sophia.
Hi. I'm calling because I need a guy's point of view. I know this guy. We've been, working and going to the same university for 2 years. He's extensively shy, and I want to know how to get his attention, but at the same time not be so forward that I bug him off.
Mm-hmm. So this is a guy you've been into. Essentially, you've been sort of emotionally stalking this guy for a couple of years?
No, not really.
What does shy mean?
Huh?
What does shy mean?
Shy means like he comes into work, he'll talk to me, he'll do his shopping or whatever, and if there's anyone standing at my register or anybody around me, he will not say goodbye, he'll slink out. But if I'm by myself, he will come up to me and talk to me and say goodbye. But that's how extensively.
Is he hiding something? Is he married or embarrassed that he's...
Is he keistered a bag of Three Musketeers and he's trying to get it out?
I don't know.
What do you work at, a supermarket?
Kind of. I work in a pharmacy, and it has a kind of a drugstore kind of thing connected to it.
Mm-hmm. Does he ever buy weird, embarrassing things and have to end up at your check stand?
No condoms.
No, like suppositories or some sort of salve you'd rub on your testicles or something like Nuts Away or something. I don't know what they have, but they got to have something.
No. No, he doesn't. He just buys lunch. We work in the same mall, and he's in the store next to mine.
All right, you want to know how to get his attention.
Yeah, but not so bluntly that I push him away, because he's extensively shy.
All right, I got news for you, Sophia. He's away now.
Yeah.
You understand? What do you care if he's 10 feet or 20 feet? He's away.
Yeah.
I think guys like this can only be dealt with very direct confrontation. And,
well, I just don't want to, you know how some girls will go around to a guy's work or whatever, and it's like they're almost stalking him or something, and the guy's like, okay. And
you just don't want him to think that you're, so to speak, that kind of person.
Right.
But you also need to be able to make contact with him and let him make his own judgment about who you are. The only way you're going to be able to do it is if you're very direct with him.
You think so?
Yeah.
Even with the shy guy?
Very direct.
Well, I don't know. I think he'll go running.
I suspect the shy guys, the passive guys, are even more in need of the direct contact. They're less likely to initiate, less likely to pick up on the cues, and need more direction.
And let's not discount the whole gay theory, too, by the way.
No, I don't think he is.
You don't? Yeah, I don't know how he would have fared with the gay aptitude test, the GAT.
And most of my gay friends are not shy at all. They're very flamboyant.
Anything you'd like to add to the GAT test? Anything that I left off there?
Flaming arm hair or something. No, most of my gay friends are very flaming, very flamboyant. This is the kind of guy who would sit in the back of the room at a dance club and never move kind of guy. But
all right.
He's very sweet.
Listen, you're going to have to kickstart the guy like a rusty moped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sort of. I'm just afraid that he'll think I'm too forward.
Sophia, let him decide for himself who you are after you develop a relationship. I think the only way you're going to have a relationship is if you are a little bit forward with him.
Yeah, you at least have to make that initial move. Otherwise, I mean, I don't... I'm just living in a world of make-believe like Angie, baby.
Tanya.
Hi. Hi, Adam. Hi, Dr. Drew.
Hey.
Okay. My problem is one night I had two of my friends over, and one of my friends confessed that she was a lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
And my other friend's very religious, and she starts yelling at her and stuff like that. And my friend that confessed, she starts crying and stuff like that. And I was stuck in the middle of it, and I don't know what to do.
I support your friend, the one that was crying. I mean, I felt very sad for her that she comes up with something that's so difficult for her to admit and difficult for her to deal with, and sort of intimate information, and your friend blasts her for it.
How old's the lesbian friend?
She's 15.
Oh, that's great. So she comes out. That ought to drive her underground for another 15 or 20 years.
Yeah.
Right. And the friend that was yelling at her obviously is very threatened by this.
Mm-hmm. She's very religious. She's sitting here saying, if God wanted there to be lesbians and gay people around here, they would have made like Eve and some other girl.
But as much as anything, that's just a intellectual defense against how threatening she finds.
She wasn't more poignant than that, Tanya. She said Eve and some other girl. There's the Adam and Steve joke. Yeah. Don't worry about what God wants.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he has bigger fish to fry, at least on Fridays, than your lesbian friend.
Yeah.
I love all that. All right, I'm not going off on religion, but these people, if God wanted, you know what the hell you're talking about. You're living in a freaking trailer. If God wanted man, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So I should just.
All right, Tanya,
you gotta support your friend.
Be good to your lesbian friend. I hate calling teenagers lesbians.
Right. It is a little premature to be calling them anything, frankly, because people often have a lot of confusion about their sexual orientation.
Well, yeah, she's already had a couple experiences.
All right, but you need to, how old was she when she had her first one?
I think she was 13 or 14. I'm not really sure.
She's so young. I mean, it must all be very confusing and painful
for
her.
Yeah,
so support her with that and get her. Just support her. I'm sure she needs friends and needs understanding friends who can really help her through this time. It's going to be difficult for her.
And get rid of this Anita Bryant Jr. you're bringing over for your sleepovers. You don't need her. She's stinking up the mix.
I've been friends with her since I was in 3rd grade.
So. Well, let me tell you.
She can be your friend, too, but I don't think she can be with the three of you any longer.
And let me just tell you, history is not going to be kind to her.
Yeah.
Or the future is not going to be kind to her, I should say. I suspect a lot of weird pent-up stuff with this chick, and I think she's going to go on to, she's going to be, the next time, you're going to run into her in 10 years, she will be pulling a train with a bunch of Marines.
Well,
that's how it works. All right, Tanya.
All right, thanks.
All right, mahalo. Drew? Like when Drew, I love to watch him point. Rachel.
Hi.
Hey.
How you doing? All right, this is kind of an odd question, but getting onto the odor subject, we've all been there. I'm 23 years old.
Yes.
And in the last couple months, I've noticed kind of a sour smell coming from my genital area.
Right.
I bathe every day, constantly, and it's becoming a problem. I notice it.
You weren't transporting any backyard fruit, were you?
Not at all.
Okay, because some people, they'll do anything.
Backyard fruit?
I don't know where he comes up with this stuff.
You see the sign when you're entering Nevada or whatever, please, no backyard fruit. And some people will go to any length to evade the authorities. You know what I'm saying?
I see. To get those med flies into California.
He could have a bag of lemons where the sun don't shine. That's
Rachel,
all I'm saying.
That's a sign of an infection in the vagina.
Okay.
And most likely either trichomonas or Gardnerella.
Okay.
And they are pretty easily treated these days. In fact, sometimes just a vaginal cream for a week takes care of it.
Okay, is it a normal infection that just comes to women? Because I'm in a monogamous relationship. I've been
married
for 5 years.
Yeah, it can occur spontaneously, and it can also be a sexually transmitted disease.
Okay.
If a man contacts it, he can harbor it in the penis and transmit it then, and it does also seem to just develop spontaneously sometimes.
Okay, so I should just go see my physician.
Yep, it's very easy to treat.
Thank you.
Okay, and you ought to be screened for other things, too, just to make sure that's the infection it is. But
and when you go to the gynecologist with those types of problems, it's best to tip a little extra on those days. Am I right, Drew?
No.
A little something for the effort. You know what I'm saying.
No, it's best to be straightforward, honest. We see this kind of stuff all the time.
All I'm saying is in the military, you get a little bump up for the hazardous duty pay. You know, when you go on the mine sweep in the Mekong Delta, they give you a little something extra because there's a little more danger involved.
Yeah, and?
Tiffany.
Yeah.
You're on Loveline.
Guys.
Drew, put your hand down.
Just asking for help.
You're always wrong. I don't know anything about radio, but one thing I do know is you're always wrong when it comes to radio. What do you need, another 14 years in this business?
I've not paid attention 1 minute to the radio part of this job.
Tiffany.
Yeah.
No kidding. What's your question?
I have a problem.
I'm 4 months pregnant by my ex-boyfriend. He has another girl pregnant. Well, I didn't tell anybody, until I knew for sure that I was pregnant.
You're 4 months pregnant by your ex-boyfriend, and he has another girlfriend?
Yeah.
And she's 2 months pregnant.
No, I don't know how far along she is.
But she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Okay, see, when I'm running things, guys like this will be pulled out and sterilized. That's it. You screw up twice, boom, that's it.
No doubt, huh?
No doubt. Because...
Anyways,
yeah, all right, go ahead.
So I didn't even tell my best friend. And I really care about her a lot. She's like my best friend anyways. Well, after I told her, it seemed like our whole group, the whole relationships between everybody changed. Everybody's fighting and stuff, and she constantly fights with me. Mm-hmm. And we have other friends too, and I'll go someplace with them, and she just gets all mad or whatever.
Wait, this is your best friend, but this has nothing to do with the other girl who got pregnant.
No.
You don't know her or anything. Okay, she's not involved.
Because my best friend calls her and asks about how she's doing.
So you're.
They weren't even friends.
All right, I have a take here. I've come up with a theory.
Your best friend is seeing the ex-boyfriend too.
No,
well, that could be.
She used to like him, I know.
Okay,
but
here
this is before me and him got together.
This is So this guy had her too.
No, she's seeing. Okay, the girl that's she's seeing her brother. So I think she's trying. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know what the deal is, but I tried to talk to her tonight. We all got in a big old fight, and I just told him that I want all of them to leave me alone.
Well, what'd someone do? Just put a fence up around your town and corral everyone in the middle and say y'all start having sex? What is it, 4 guys in this? Where are you calling from?
Bakersfield.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah.
Oh no.
No kidding.
No, but the guy that Mandy's kind of seeing, he's got a girl pregnant too.
Yeah. All right.
The brother of the girl that Joey's with.
All right.
Anyways.
Fantastic.
So, anyway.
This is wonderful. Forget about this Savannah show. They ought to just make one called Bakersfield.
Listen.
A bunch of people sitting around screwing all day and drinking beer.
I guess. But she's always getting mad at me about nothing. I mean,
well, Tiffany, there's a hidden thing. There's missing information.
I know what it is.
What is it?
Tiffany, because she came out with the pregnancy thing, is getting some extra attention.
No, it's not.
There's something much more. There's some undercurrent of something. Something has got everybody's emotions charged up and on edge.
Everybody's.
And when you don't know what it is, but you're going to have to figure it out and find out. You're going to have to confront these people very directly and repeatedly with what is going on here. What is the problem that is disrupting these relationships?
That's what I want to know.
And we can't guess.
We
can't guess, and you can't guess. You're going to have to ask them for the information. They're going to have to give it to you.
Tiffany?
Yeah.
You're going to put the youngin' up for adoption? You're going to raise it yourself? What are you going to do?
I'm going to raise it myself. Mandy wanted me to get an abortion the whole time.
Right.
And she's all, I'll take you. You got to get it done. You got to get it done. Well, I never believed in abortion until I got pregnant.
That's what she's mad about. Maybe she's worried how she's going to lose you. You're not going to share the same kind of life any longer.
I don't know what the deal is.
All right. Well, listen. Confront her.
I have, and we fight. All right.
Tiffany, listen, we don't have time for this. You have to do it in a very mature way. And if she starts getting combative, you have to be the one that brings it back down to a conversational tone. Mm-hmm. You have to be the mature one. You understand?
I've tried.
Try it again, and we'll be back. Oh, thank you. God bless you. I love you all. I want to thank the lovely Ann, the lovely Sam, the lovely Sherry, the lovely Mike, the lovely Dr. Drew, and the semi-attractive Adam Carolla. And we'll talk to you tomorrow night.
So that's it, then. The opinions expressed on Loveline by Adam Carolla, Dr. Drew, or anyone are not necessarily ours. Be happy. Be happy. Happy, happy, happy. The Loveline's producer is Ann Wilkins. Thank you.